These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I have really, really cool news. Okay, so about a year ago, I got to share the absolutely life-changing, mind-blowing, universe-warping news about writing my first book, The Butcher and the Wren. I could never have dreamed of the support that I received then and that the book continues to receive now from all of you. You are amazing. You set records with the numbers of pre-orders. You made every edition a bestseller. It's you guys. You did it. And it was even nominated recently for an Audie Award. It's for Best Audiobook with a Multi-Voice Performance. Yup. Those voice actors are the best. And now I am so proud and so thrilled to share 2 pieces of incredible news with you. I have been sitting on these 2 pieces of news forever, and I can't wait to scream them to you. So the first one is that The Butcher and the Wren is going to be out in paperback this summer on July 25th. So you can finally get that paperback edition. And to make this even cooler, guess what the paperback edition is going to have?
What?
It's going to have a sneak peek of a chapter from book 2.
Oh my God. And guess what? I got to read it and I can tell you it's a really good chapter.
It is. That's right. There's going to be a sequel. It is coming. You get to read part of it in that paperback if you get it. And what's even better is that my publisher is giving away free signed copies of the paperback to the first 50 people who pre-order. So if you want to pre-order the paperback with that sneak peek chapter of book 2 in it, you can go to tinyurl.com/TBATW paperback. That's tinyurl.com/TBATW paperback. Thank you guys so much. You're amazing. Thank you so much for listening, supporting, reading, being the best weirdos that you ever could be. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and love you. I just want to hug you all, but I won't because it's virtual, but feel it, okay? I can't wait for you guys to read more Jeremy and Wren this summer, and it's going to be awesome. Just you wait.
Kapowie!
Hey, weirdos. I'm Elena.
And I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
Yay! I love Morbid.
I love Morbid too.
I love you.
Oh my God. And I love all of you.
Yay.
And you know what? I wasn't here last episode. You guys got Caleb instead.
Caleb.
Caleb.
It was a fun episode with Caleb. You were obviously very missed, but it was a good time.
We love Caleb.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
do.
Caleb?
He's literally like our brother-in.
He's our brother-in. He's our, what do you call him?
Christ.
Our brother in Christ.
Yeah, I call him our brother in Christ all the time.
Yeah, he's wonderful. We love him. Very thankful to him for stepping in when I had to dip out real quick.
What'd you do?
I went to New York City.
I don't think I did a really great job of explaining like why you were gone. I was like, she's getting like honored at a gala. I don't know. It's like a New York Minute thing. Her and John are going to be fancy.
Yep. That's pretty much
basically
it.
what I said.
No, I got to go to the Poet and Writers Gala and
That's
be
what it
a
was.
literary table host, which was cool. It was really fun, and it was LeVar Burton was the host.
Yeah.
And he sang the Reading Rainbow theme song.
That's really fucking special.
So that was worth its weight in gold. He was amazing. And then we went to the I think it's like I can never say it right.
Audi?
The Audis.
Or is it the
Audis.
Audis?
It's
It's probably the Audis because it's
Audis.
audio.
Audio. The Audis.
Yeah, the Audis.
Yeah, but it looks like Audi the car.
And that was us trying to figure out how to speak on a podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
But yeah, The Butcher and the Wren was a finalist in the multi-voiced performance category.
Which is a big deal because there's only like 25 categories.
Yeah, Sophie and Joe, the narrators who did the
voice
narration
actors?
for The Butcher and the Wren, the audiobook, they were like, they did such a fucking awesome job.
Did you get to meet them while you were there?
I didn't. And you know what the thing is? Here it is. Sophie, if you're listening right now, I need you to know this. I don't think
Sophie.
Joe was there.
Okay.
But Sophie, I think I saw Sophie and I was with Sabrina,
Yeah.
my wonderful literary agent.
I love
And I was
Sabrina.
with John and I looked over and I said, I think that's Ren. And they were like, what? And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Ren. And then I was like, I'm scared to go up to her and say, are you Ren? And have her be like, who the fuck? No. Like, I don't know who you are.
Oh my
I got
God.
very social anxiety about
Oh.
it. But Sophia, I think I saw you and it was exciting because I was like, you're
That's
Ren.
so cool.
Look, it's Ren. And
Oh,
I didn't
man.
say anything and I regret it now.
I know exactly how that feels though.
Ugh.
Like I know exactly the feeling
Yeah.
that you were feeling.
I get very
Well, not
intense.
exactly because I never wrote a book and had somebody narrate it, but I'm like, I know exactly what that's like when I go to these galas and I get
social
honored.
anxiety, you know,
Yeah.
like it was intense, and it was a very different vibe for me because it was such a fancy event.
Okay, ho ho. Fence wall.
But you know, it was fun. But that was my outing for the year.
I don't blame you.
I will not be doing anything else. So there was that. So that was fun. But yeah, I had to miss the episode recording.
I know.
And Caleb was like, I got you.
Yeah.
In fact, that's literally what he said. I got you.
Quite literally
Yeah.
said that.
So thanks
he
for
said,
hanging.
I got you, doggy.
Yep, I got you, doggy. That's what he said verbatim. But this kind of works out because the last episode that I did was the Burke and Hare case.
I loved that. Well, I didn't love that,
But it was a fascinating case, right? Like it's a
Fascinating.
very interesting Scottish case.
Squish.
One of the craziest Scottish crimes in Scottish history. And this connects to it. So it's like a fun little like continuation.
Little offshoot.
This is actually, I'm going to talk about the Arthur Seat Coffins today. If you were at the obituary show, or if you have been at any of the obituary shows, I assume, they mention these little coffins.
Okay.
And when I saw them, I was like, oh, I've been meaning to dive into those.
You actually leaned over to me and said that exact
I
sentence.
literally did. I was like, oh, that's one I wanted to like put on the list to make sure I get to. And when we decided to do Burke and Hare, which is another one I've been wanting to do forever, I was like, oh, these connect. So we can just do them back to back. And here we are.
Hello.
So let's tell you what Arthur's Seat
Let's.
is first.
Yeah,
Because
'cause I
you're probably
don't
like,
know.
what is that?
Yeah.
So Arthur's Seat is the largest section of a 3-part ancient volcano system that erupted more than 300 million years ago and is now extinct.
It was lit.
It was very lit. It's located about 1 mile east of Edinburgh's Old Town neighborhood, not very far from the coast. It has slopes and cliffs. It's like very scenic. And it basically combines with other hills and geological features like the Salisbury Crags, and all these things together form Holyrood Park, which is one of Scotland's royal parks and the largest open space in Edinburgh.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I don't think I realized that there were volcanoes in Scotland.
Yeah, they're like everywhere.
What a silly
They're
girl.
in some, well, like they're in way more places than you think.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are extinct. So
Right.
it's like you would never know that was once an active volcano.
Right.
Or even a dormant one. Because now it's like,
It doesn't do
that was
anything
me
anymore.
making the like, it's dead.
She did the like hand across the
Yeah,
neck.
the
Visuals are hard around here.
they're hard on a podcast, but here we are. Also, if you go on like TikTok or something, while you can,
If you can,
and
I know.
it's fingers crossed, and you type in like Edinburgh or you type in like Arthur's Seat, Scotland, you're gonna get some really cool fucking videos of it.
Ooh.
If you type in Scotland into TikTok,
We were just watching
My
Scotland
God.
TikToks actually, and we
It's
were
a-
like, I want to go to there.
planning a trip to you immediately. But yeah, it's wild. And you see Urquhart Castle in a lot of them, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's just my castle. No
That's
big deal.
Selena's ancestors.
That's just my ancestors.
Oh wait, those are my ancestors too.
No, they're just mine.
No, they're mine.
I'm just kidding.
We can share them.
So the area of Arthur's Seat has a lot of history. It was once home to the Votadini, I believe it's pronounced, an Iron Age era society of Brittonic people who occupied the area until about the 5th century.
Okay.
It has a position as the highest point in the region, which is good because it made it a really good location for a hill fort. Because obviously from that high up, it would have been very defensible from all 4 sides. And over time, the area has served a number of important social functions too. It was a super fruitful hunting ground. It was the grounds of the Holyrood. I always want to say Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Holyrood. So it's Holyrood Abbey, which was a haven for debtors during the Victorian era. And it is among Queen Victoria and Prince Albert's favorite locations in Scotland.
Ooh.
Interesting. In fact, Prince Albert felt so strongly about this region that he actually enacted programs to clean up the overly polluted royal park, and he put in policies to protect basically its natural splendor.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Now, although the origins of its name are not like we think we know where it came from,
Who's
but they're
Arthur?
not like it's
Solid.
We don't have like the concrete evidence we need to be like, that's what it is.
We're making inferences.
We are.
Inference I.
There you go. And one of the most popular theories for where the name came from is that it was the site of Camelot,
Okay.
home of King Arthur.
I know that.
Knights of the Round Table.
Knife stuck in the rock.
You know, like there was what's the knight's name in that?
Isn't it Camelot?
Lancelot.
Lancelot. I knew it was a lot.
Exactly. It wasn't a Camelot. Camelot was like the kingdom, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So Arthur's Seat, King Arthur,
he sat there.
makes sense that this area would be called Arthur's Seat for Camelot.
I like it.
I think that is the origin because it's fun.
And I can't think of any other origin.
Nope, it's fun, it's whimsical,
I like it.
it's fantastical. I like it.
yeah.
There are some less exciting theories of where it came from.
Fuck these following theories.
You know, one of them is that it could be an evolution of an ancient Scot Gaelic word. I'm going to try it, guys.
Go for it.
Ardnased,
I believe you.
which means height of arrows.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Fun in a way,
Yeah, words.
in a different way.
You're literary.
Yeah, you know.
I'm
it's-
literate.
You are
Yeah.
indeed. and it's fun in like, fun language and words way.
Yeah.
But it's not fun in like a Camelot Knights of the Round Table kind of way.
If there's not a knight, it's just like
If there's not a knight, what are we even here for?
that's
You know?
like the
I'm a night owl.
oh, me too.
But yeah, and then, like, so there's that. And then more theories are that it was once, the home of an ancient dragon.
Okay, that's really fucking fun. You're like, fuck these following theories. I'm like,
No, this one's
dragon.
pretty good.
Was Daenerys there?
Perhaps. And you know what? This one I think you're really going to like.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Some people say that the dew on the morning grass contains magical properties that will keep you looking young and beautiful.
Give me those motherfucking Tuck everlasting drops.
And this dew magic actually is such a prevalent legend that many a young woman often climb the hillside on May Day and wash their faces in the morning dew because youth.
What's May Day?
May Day is a day.
Is it in May?
In May.
Fuck, because I think we're probably going to go in summer if we go.
Yeah, because that's supposedly like the best time to go.
Yeah, and like, kids not missing school and stuff, but like, fuck, I want to go on May Day.
I mean, maybe you can just go and get the dew anyway. Maybe it has the same.
I mean, act like I'm not gonna.
Act like I'm not gonna rub dew on my face. Act like it.
I'm gonna rub all the dew on my face.
Hell yeah, you are.
Shit, I'm excited about that. Fuck Botox.
I think it's pretty great. Yeah, just get some Arthur Seat dew.
I'm about
some
to.
Holyrood dew.
Holyrood dew.
Any Scottish listener right now is like, my God.
They're like, please leave.
My God.
Also, Lemaire, step aside.
Exactly. There you go.
Damn.
The Holyrood dew is where it's at. So, given its geographical prominence, its splendor, its aesthetic beauty, its magical properties, it does make sense that Arthur's Seat would be a pretty significant piece of any Scottish and Gaelic folklore. It's like a perfect place for it. It's like
It's
the
rife.
fairy glens in the Isle of Skye in Scotland. It's rife.
She just told me about.
Yeah, go look at that too. The fairy glens in the Isle of, or the whole Isle of Skye, really.
I'm getting the fuck out of America, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Scotland or really at like any of those kind of places, and you're like, what am I doing over here?
If we get to go to there, I'm like gonna look at some real estate.
I want to go to there.
I'm not even joking your ass right
now.
now.
Go to there.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah. Interestingly, too, this place is so like magical and beauteous and wonderful. It has attracted, obviously it's been part of Scottish and Gaelic folklore, but it's also attracted non-European groups like the Mormon Church.
Huh.
Right? I said that too. Huh. That's exactly my reaction.
That's really all I know.
They incorporated it into their origins as far back as 1840. So that's just like an interesting little thing. Right now, as we sit here, it's a very popular like tourist destination.
That makes sense.
And you can get there by a short hike.
You can get
like
there.
It's not one of those things that you're like, well, you have to like free climb up a cliff
Fuck
to get
that.
there. Like it's not one of those.
Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You can just like run up that hill with Kate.
You can just run it up that hill.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're good. But let's talk. So now we know where Arthur's Seat is. I almost said Arthur's. got really
Arthur's
weird.
Seat.
And now we know what Arthur's Seat is. We can now talk about the coffins, the Lilliputian coffins.
What is
they're called.
Lilliputian?
Thank you for asking that. I don't know.
That was really funny. I really thought you were about to be like, thank you for asking that. You walked me into my next statement. You go, thank you for asking that. I literally don't know. I'll look it up. Keep going.
Thank you for looking it up.
I don't know why that was.
You know
so
what it is?
funny.
I think I got so excited about the word Lilliputian because it's beautiful. It feels great.
Oh, it just means trivial or very small.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
It's a very small person or thing.
There you go. Because, you know, like, say Lilliputian.
Oh, I will. Lilliputian.
Doesn't that feel just like, whew.
Anything usually that starts with Lil, I like to say.
And
specifically.
Shun at the end of things feels very like, you shun.
Yeah.
Feels like blah, blah.
La and Shun are very yummy names in my mouth.
They just, it's got good mouthfeel to it.
It does. I was going to shout out Ryan Lil really quick.
Oh my God, Ryan Lil.
Yeah, I knew that you would be on board with that.
For a moment,
just
take a quick
let's.
little detour. Don't worry, I'm not gonna we're not gonna go forever.
Let us pray, to Ryan Lil.
Ryan Lil, we're gonna have to link his stuff in our show notes because it's so worth knowing this human. You need to check out his books, which we will also. His newest one is, I want to make sure I get
it's In the Pines.
In the
right?
Pines. I just wanted to make sure I got the exact name right.
It's In the Pines.
In the Pines. He also has
music.
Is
the song Adore Me that we like?
Oh my God.
Or is it just Adore
Me?
It's
Adore Me,
right? Yeah, I thought so.
It's Adore Me. He's just a very talented human being. He's an amazing makeup artist. His other book is On the Wire that is already out. I believe
On a Wire.
On a Wire. And then the next one is going to be coming out soon. So look out for it.
We're just going to link his...
We're just going to shout him out everywhere.
Yeah, we're going to link his link tree in these show notes because I'm obsessed with him and so are you. So.
He's a wonderful human and it's just like one of those people that you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
I just want you to be the happiest human.
Yeah, so follow Ryan Lil Washington, 2 L's in Ryan Lil, on Instagram.
Yeah, and go check it. The books are
Buy the books.
Phenomenal.
Listen to the music.
Can confirm.
Watch the music video for Adore Me.
Watch the music video for Adore Me.
You showed it to me and I was over the moon.
Also, just like scream out the lyrics to Adore Me.
Scream them.
Whenever you can.
Scream them out your sunroof.
Because my God, is it a bop.
While someone else is driving, by the way.
But yeah, so that's our short little detour.
But Lilliputian.
Lilliputian coffins. In late June 1836, so just, a
couple
few years ago.
Yeah.
A group of local boys, they were just venturing into a Holyrood Park. They were going to hunt for, I can't help it now.
No, I love it.
They were
Please
going to
don't.
hunt for rabbits.
I hate that with
It was
every
1836.
fiber of my being. I don't care.
People do that now. I don't know
care.
why I'm acting like this isn't only 1830. I'm like, it was 1836 when people hunted rabbits, okay?
You know what? I think this year rabbits have changed to my favorite animal.
Whoa, look at you.
I'm not even, I'm
I
feeling
believe that.
a spiritual connection
You
with
are.
rabbits lately.
You have been.
But I'll shut up now.
I think rabbits and you're together forever.
Yeah.
But they were going to hunt rabbits, and as they arrived, they were, looking for rabbits. And as they did that, they noticed a really small opening, which when you read this story anywhere, it's commonly referred to as a cave, but like it's kind of just like a depression in the side of a mountain.
Yeah, don't set people up to be disappointed.
Don't set people up thinking this is a fucking cave.
Don't promise a cave when it's
of wonders,
just
okay?
depression.
But yeah, I guess it's like a tiny cave. But they notice this in the rock wall along the relatively secluded northeast side of the hill.
Okay.
So they get closer and they notice that the opening is actually covered up by what was 3 thin pieces of slate stone rudely cut at the upper ends into a conical form and then placed into a row. So that's different.
Strange.
That's not organic. Somebody did this. And they assume that this was likely done to protect whatever was inside from the effects of the weather, the elements, or anything that would come from the outside. So they removed these slabs of stone, which, personally, I think was the first of their bad ideas.
I'm going to agree.
I think when you find something that has been, purposely protected by slabs of stone in the side of a mystical hill,
Don't touch that.
just assume that it's meant to be there.
You know that expression, you break it, you buy it? That
Yeah.
doesn't mean necessarily that, you purchase it. It means, that's yours now.
That's yours.
And you fucked up.
You own whatever's happening now.
You own the mistake
Yeah.
that you've created.
So
Little boys.
they didn't do that. They didn't heed our warnings from 1836 because they moved them.
Oh, yeah.
And inside, they discovered a 12-inch by 12-inch depression in the earth. So they're like, what the fuck is this? So they look in, and inside, someone had placed 17 Lilliputian coffins.
17.
And these tiny coffins had been arranged in 2 tiers of 8, each separated by a thin piece of slate. And I know you're thinking 2 rows of 8 is 16, because when I first read that, I was like, that's like, 16.
Yep,
I'm confused.
Yep,
But it was
waiting.
2 rows of 8, and then there was a 3rd row that had begun with 1.
Okay.
So to me, I'm like, was there supposed to be more?
Probably.
Somebody was like obviously putting more and starting a new row.
I need to know more. Yeah, and then they got
You wouldn't
caught.
just leave
and
it
then
like
Burke and
that.
Hare got caught. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying. So that origin story, how they were found like that, that's the one that is everywhere, that is generally accepted as
Truth.
how they were discovered.
Okay.
But it wasn't the only story at the time that was circulated. There was a couple more. A short time after they were discovered, there was another story that went into a journal, a print journal, titled Notes and Queries, and it was under the headline, A Fairy's Burial Place.
Ooh, bitch,
Which I kind of love that. And like anytime you throw fairies into the mix, I'm like, oh, okay, let's go.
Get into it, yeah.
And this one had a much more dramatic account of how they were found, because that one's just like some boys were hunting rabbits and they went where they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But this one said in the print version, while I was a resident at Edinburgh, either in the year 1836 or 1837, I forget which, a curious discovery took place, which formed the subject of a 9 days' wonder and a few newspaper paragraphs. Some children were at play at the foot of Salisbury Crags, when one of them, more venturesome than the others, attempted to ascend the escarpment of the cliff. His foot slipped, and to save himself from a dangerous fall, he caught at a projecting piece of rock, which appeared to be attached to the other portions of the cliff. It gave way, however, beneath the pressure of his hand, and although it broke his fall, both he and it came to the bottom of the crag. Nothing daunted, sorry, I had to swallow. Nothing daunted, the hardy boy got up, shook himself, and began the attempt a second time. When he reached the point from whence the treacherous rock had projected, he found that it had merely masked the entrance to a large hole, which had been dug into the face of the cliff.
Okay.
So similar discovery.
Yeah.
Boys.
Just less
playing,
boys.
Just a boy falling off the side of a craggy cliff,
Just
essentially.
like, yeah, just that.
We just added some adventure to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this version of the story does add some more details about the coffins. It says they have handles. This isn't true and can be easily disproven by just looking at the actual coffins and seeing they don't have handles.
Ruh-roh.
So it makes this one feel more of like a jump off of that actual original discovery and trying to make it more exciting, which I'm like,
You didn't really
the
need
original
to.
one's pretty fucking exciting. I don't care what they were. They could have been going there to blow their noses and finding that, and I'd be like, that's fucking awesome. Like, that was legendary. Because they found 17 tiny coffins in the side of a fucking mystical hill.
You don't have to spice that up
You,
anymore.
you don't have to give me some crazy
That
story.
sentence alone is wild.
Right? Like, that's wild. Now, the coffins themselves were roughly 3.75 inches in length.
Oh my.
So very small. And each coffin was hand carved out of a single piece of pine
Okay.
with metal, which they thought was most likely tin, kind of adorning the lids. So they had cut out tin and made like decorations on the lids of them.
So tin, metal, and what other?
In
Pine.
wood.
Okay.
So, and they were held, this tin was held in place with wire springs or brass pins. Inside each coffin was a hand-carved wooden figure of a human.
Oof.
And they were, quote, dressed in custom-made clothes that had been stitched and glued around them.
This is freaky as fuck.
Right? And some of them had black boots painted on their feet.
Hate.
Now, it wasn't, they described them as not being like some kind of ancient artifact, like how most ancient artifacts are pretty crudely done.
Yeah, because different
Because of the lack of
materials and
tools
everything.
and materials and skill sets and all that. These appeared to have a pretty orderly and neat way about them. Like someone had taken really great care and meticulous time to do this, to create them and to place them where they had put them. And they had not all been put into this little tomb at the same time.
And how could they tell that?
So according to news reports, quote, the rotten and decayed state of the first tier of coffins and their wooden mummies, the wrapping clothes being in some cases moldy, while others showed various degrees of decomposition, and the coffin last placed as clean and fresh as if only a few days had elapsed since their entombment.
Oh, wow.
That's how they were able, like, that first tier was old. And then it got less so as it went.
Huh.
And that last row for it to be, that's creepy to me that someone could have just been there placing that coffin.
That's really creepy. Because imagine if those boys had planned their hunting trip like days earlier.
And had caught the person doing that. I wish they had, because then maybe we would know.
Then I'm nervous. I'm kind of glad they didn't at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what would have become of you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they weren't really nice to the coffins.
They weren't?
These boys. Nobody really knows why or what they thought. I don't know how old these boys were either.
Yeah, maybe they were like rambunctious.
But it's like also like, you should know better. Because nobody really knows what they thought when they found these. But the earliest reports say that at least half were destroyed by the boys pelting them at each other as unmeaning and contemptible trifles.
Why are boys so stupid?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
On the record, like why are they so stupid?
Why? Especially these boys.
Yeah,
like why were you so
boys
dumb?
So silly.
Of course, the discovery was obviously significant enough for at least one of them to mention the coffin to somebody else, or we wouldn't know about them at all.
Yeah.
According to a report from the mid-1950s, the following day after they were discovered, way back in 1836, so we didn't find out about this, like how this all went down until the 1950s.
Oh, shit.
They said that the boys, one of the boys at least, told one of their schoolmasters, a man named Mr. Ferguson, who was a member of a local archaeological society, that they had come across these.
It really is just taking everything in me right now not to say Turd Ferguson. Thank you, bye. Go ahead.
There you go.
You're 12. Shut
I was like,
up.
but you said it.
I told you.
So later that day, Mr. Ferguson, a very Scottish name, he retrieved the remaining coffins from the cave in the hillside, and he took them home and then shared them with other members of the Archaeological Society. Because once he had heard this story from the kid, he's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how pissed he was hearing that they had broken half of these.
Seriously.
I'd be like, are you kidding me? Have I taught you nothing? Like, you just tossed them around like they were trash.
What a bunch of idiots.
Now, it should be said that the original accounts of this whole discovery don't mention a school teacher.
Oh.
And they don't provide any details about how those coffins went from Arthur's Seat to the town below.
But I believe in Ferguson.
Well, the original one doesn't say it, but we know they somehow got from A to B. And then in the 1950s, that's when the story came out about Mr. Ferguson, the local archaeological society, all that stuff.
Blah-de-da-do.
And it was in an article by Robert Chapman that was circulated among the regional Scottish papers at the time, that according to Mike Dash, who I will, I'm going to put the reference, there we go, for what this is for. He said, a search of the contemporary street directory shows that two schoolmasters named Ferguson were working in Edinburgh in 1836.
Okay.
George Ferguson as a classics master at Edinburgh Academy, and Findlay Ferguson as a teacher of English and math at Easter Duddingston.
I want it to be Findlay.
So I know, I love that name.
Same.
So there were two Mr. Fergusons in the area at that time working as school teachers. So that this lines up.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't long after they'd been dug out of the hillside that the Edinburgh press jumped on this mystery of these tiny little coffins. So they, of course, put forward a ton of theories. The Scotsman reported a few days after the discovery, quote, "None of the learned with whom we have conversed on the subject can account in any way for this singular fantasy of the human mind." Beautiful. And in the article, they said, "Our own opinion would be, had we not some years ago abjured witchcraft and demonology, that these are still some of the weird sisters hovering about Muscat's Carn or the Windy Gowl, who retain their ancient power to work the spells of death by entombing the likenesses of those they wish to destroy."
Literally love.
Right. I'm saying, I think it's cairn. I think I said Carn. It was
okay.
cairn.
You did your best.
Muscat's Cairn. Now, I immediately wanted to know what Muscat's Cairn is. I don't know about you.
I do.
So I looked it up. Just got to talk about what Muscat's Cairn is and why that makes any sense, why this would be like a weird thing. So at the eastern part of Holyrood Park, there's a seemingly innocuous, to this day, pile of rocks that is actually a cairn. A cairn serves as some kind of landmark or memorial.
Sure.
Like it's like a pile of rocks. In this case, I suppose it's both. Because, see, on October 17th, 1720, a surgeon named Nicol Muscat, he lured his 17-year-old wife, Margaret, into that spot and murdered her in cold blood.
Well, fuck him.
Slit her throat.
Jesus Christ.
Her dying words were, my love, do not murder me. Yeah.
Oh my
I'm saying.
God.
Now, he had an accomplice in the crime named Campbell, who apparently was sent to Australia after this.
I really want you to do this next.
Right? It's a wild
I'm
one.
intrigued.
He had apparently been trying to get rid of his wife and or kill her for a while, but had failed several times. He tried to force infidelity on her to force a divorce at first.
What?
And when that didn't work, like, he tried to, like, get her drunk and, like, throw a man at her.
You wanted to make her infidel?
Yeah, so that he could divorce her without, like, having any kind of, like, issues. Because back then, you couldn't just divorce.
Yeah, no, I know.
So it's like he wanted the infidelity thing to be like, oh, she cheated on me.
Wow.
And it's like, that's weird. But then when that didn't work, he tried to poison her and only ended up making her extremely ill. He did that several times. Then he tried to get her super drunk and drown her in a pond. He then planned to have her, he put her on horseback and was going to tie her like not well into the saddle.
So she would fall
and
off
have
the
her
horse.
his horse like flip her off and kill her.
What the fuck? That's not even like
And
guaranteed
his reasoning
either.
for all this,
You just didn't like her?
he had grown weary of her.
Weary of her?
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. I'm tired of it.
Well, can't you leave her for no reason?
Can't.
Yeah, well,
That's why he was trying to force
Just
infidelity.
lie.
I'm saying.
I'd rather you be a liar than a murderer.
A vicious murderer. And
For real.
He confessed after he actually killed her at this Muscat.
She
Now, what is
loved
now
him.
called Muscat's Cairn.
I wish it wasn't named after this fucker.
I know. And he confessed, and during his confession, he said he never loved her and was ashamed of her visiting him before they were married. But out
Fuck
of
him.
right, like he like further shits on her memory.
Name this after her.
Right? And that's the thing, like it's kind of lost to history, her name. Like it's
Yeah.
Margaret Hall
But
was
what
her
was-
name.
oh,
but it's
okay.
like that's not part of the thing. It's frustrating.
Name it Maggie's cake.
Maggie's Cairn.
Cairn.
Yeah. And he said he married her out of convenience. He's a fucking pig.
Ew.
But he was hanged for his crime in Grassmarket in Edinburgh.
Oh, it's
and
giving
the-
Scandal
The
vibes.
cairn, right? The cairn was created in her honor.
Good.
So, and it still remains there. You can see it to
I
this
just
day.
like name it something else.
What's sad is like that's the place she was murdered. Like that very place where that cairn is.
Gosh.
But that was just interesting to me. But back to the coffins, shall we?
Wow.
Other newspapers quickly joined the speculation for what these little Lilliputian coffins.
Lilliputian or Putian?
Lilliputian, excuse me,
Don't
coffins
say
were.
it wrong. Don't say Lilliputian.
Excuse me. I know, that's such a good word.
I know.
The Dundee Courier suggested that maybe they were an example of an ancient custom in Saxony in which one would bury a miniature effigy for departed friends who had died in a distant land,
That's beautiful.
which is beautiful. But the Courier couldn't help put forth like another romanticized version of this theory.
Gotta sell the
saying-
papers, baby.
Of course, saying, and this is also just like what we find out is not true. They said that it could be a superstition which exists among some sailors in this country, where the wives of the sailors who had been lost at sea would bury a tiny, like, proxy, basically, to kind of like make a Christian burial
Oh.
like happen.
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
couldn't
So
do
they
it.
could actually like
if they had
bury their loved
drowned,
one.
you know, like it just kind of like it's like an effigy.
I like that.
Now, a watch was kept on the hillside at Arthur's Seat for days after the discovery because they knew that last one had been placed there rather recently.
But now it's all over the papers that it's been discovered.
Thank you.
Like-
And that's why I'm like, guys, you
Yeah,
ruined
that wasn't good
it.
planning.
You ruined it. No additional coffins were placed, of course,
Because they were
it had
caught.
already been fucking out there. This
Right.
person's reading the papers. Come on. Now, within a few weeks of the discovery,
This part of the show is brought to you by Anua, the Korean skincare brand known for scientific, gentle, yet effective formulations. The latest from Anua is the Retinol Collagen Gua Sha Cream, a firming cream with a gua sha-shaped tip built right in. Have you guys heard of gua sha? It's that viral massage tool that moves fluid and tension out of your face. Less puffiness, a snatched jawline, honey, more definition in your face. Retinol firms and reduces fine lines, and collagen keeps your skin plump and structured. This cream has both of those things. Arguably the most optimal combo for that snatched, lifted look all in one step. I am obsessed with the gua sha cream. First of all, it feels so cool to the touch. When you put that on your face, it's just like, this is lovely. It's like a little spa treatment that you can give yourself. I like to do mine at night after I get out of the shower. I rub the cream on my face with the little gua sha. I'm sculpting that jawline, honey. I got it on the cheekbones. And actually, I had a facial the other day, and the lady doing my facial, the professional, she said, "Do you use a gua sha at home?" And I said, "I do." And I said, "How did you know that?" And she said, "I didn't have those little like bumps in my chin or like different areas like that." So she could tell that I was using the gua sha. And I said, "Oh my God." I just feel like I wake up less puffy in the morning when I do it the night before. But you can do it whenever you want to. I, 10 out of 10, recommend this product. The Anua Gua Sha Cream Value Set is available at anua.com, already discounted. Use code MORBID for an extra 10% off. That's ANUA.com, code MORBID. The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
The public's interest apparently kind of like died down.
What the fuck happened to make their interest die
Which
down?
I'm like shocked because I'm still not over it. Like it is 2023 and I'm not over it.
Something had to have happened.
But apparently the coffins, what were left of them, made their way into the private collection of Robert Fraser, who was an Edinburgh jeweler at this time.
Huh. Why did he get them?
Robert Fraser, apparently he bought them, I guess, but he displayed the coffins in his private museum on South Andrews Street, and then he retired in 1845. They were there all the way up until there. And then, he, quote, "the celebrated Lilliputian coffins found on Arthur's Seat sold to a private buyer for just £4.
How much is that?
That's like almost $5 American.
Oh, that's it?
Right?
I
was shocked by that.
In
I'm
what
like,
year?
Is that right? In 1845.
Okay, I'm going to do the conversion.
Now, once they went into the hands of this private buyer, they kind of disappeared for a while. No one knew what really happened to them.
Oh.
That was until more than 50 years later. So the coffins appeared again in 1901.
Okay.
This was when a private donor actually ended up gifting 8 of them to the Museum of the Society of Antiquaries of Scotland.
Ooh, that's a beautiful thing to say.
Scotland, you know?
I just love all these words today.
Yeah. This would eventually become the National Museum's, the National Museum of Scotland. There's no way to know, like, basically how or exactly who donated these to the museum.
Yeah, they probably passed hands like so many times.
Yeah, and basically, like at first, because of this, a lot of people were like, are they the actual coffins or are these like, you know, something else? But apparently, according to Smithsonian Magazine, it said circumstantial evidence strongly suggests that these coffins were the same group as the one Fraser obtained in 1836. And that's really all they're going off of.
I trust the Smithsonian.
Yeah, I trust them. So I think it's right. But the coffins coming back into the fold kind of, it sparked a new interest in them again. Okay. Finally, people were finally thinking about them again. Because I'm really sad that they like just got forgotten about
for a minute.
Yeah, it's like, these are fascinating. They were found in the side of a mystical fucking craggy rock.
How do you just let that go?
How do we just like lose interest in it? But
that speaks to the fucking human psyche.
Like just
shittiness.
Human condition. But it wasn't long before they were back in the news again. So in 1906, 5 years after they had been donated, there was an article that appeared in the Scotsman, and it proposed a new and very unverifiable theory as to their origins. Okay. But according to the article, a woman living in Edinburgh at the time said that shortly after they were found, Her father, who was only called Mr. B, had been visited several times at his business by a, quote, daft man. And during one of these visits, the man produced a hand-drawn picture of 3 small coffins. Under those coffins were written the dates 1837, 1838, 1840. Now, there was no context or explanation, so Mr. B just kind of dismissed this picture as like, you know,
This is Mr. B.
this is just crazy.
Yeah, he's just like, I
and
don't
so
know.
whatever. But the following year, 1837, a relative of Mr. B died.
Mrs. B?
Who knows? Another B.
Mr. C.
And this was followed by the death of another relative in 1938.
Mr. D.
And then the death of his brother it was 1838. And then the death of his brother in 1840. Now, according to the man's daughter, the mysterious man that came with this picture, he appeared at her father's business shortly after his brother's funeral and was, quote, glowering at him before disappearing and was never seen again. So they believe, basically the Scotsman said that is it not possible that this man was the maker of the Arthur C. coffins, driven mad by the loss of his treasures? Or was the whole story nothing but coincidences? So they think that this whole thing somehow is connected to the things, that this guy was making these little treasures.
Right.
They were discovered. Possibly that was the private donor who had them.
And now
he
he's
was
pissed.
pissed. And, you know,
Maybe. I mean, it's not like totally unthinkable, but there's just not enough
yeah.
there.
There's better theories, one of which includes Burke and Hare. But
You're like, that's my fucking theory.
that's my favorite. Now, throughout the 20th century, the coffins continued to make huge fantastical theories crop up everywhere. A lot of supernatural explanations. Like in 1978, Walter Havernick, who was the director of the Museum of Hamburg History, he suggested the coffins could be kind of a talisman, like the totems carried by German sailors for luck. Now, according to German folklore, sailors would carry mandrake root or some form of a doll in a small coffin as a protection at sea.
Oh, that's cool.
And he theorized that these Arthur C. coffins could be, quote, a hoard of lucky charms hidden in the hillside by a merchant to be sold to sailors.
All right.
This all sounds great. That kind of like, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But the National Museum of Scotland pointed out that, quote, while the use of charms persisted in Scotland well into the 19th century, no evidence of this particular seafaring tradition has ever been found. So I think, well, that sounds like it would have been a good little thing. It was made up. That's not a real tradition.
That's a bummer.
So I kind of love it because although that's like a nice, like fun, I love a seafaring, spooky sailor siren song tradition for sure. Like any of those stories are fun.
Like that song Brandy.
I don't know what that is.
The one, yeah, you do. It's I can't sing it right now because I have Florence and the Machine stuck in my head, but we can just move past it.
Okay, cool. I'm sure I know what it is, but I don't.
I'll sing it to you later when I can't. You know when a song is stuck in your head? And
Yeah, and you can't get past it.
Brandy, you're a fine girl, such a fine wife you would be, but my life, my lover, my lady is the sea.
I've literally never heard that in my entire life.
No, you absolutely have. Papa loves that song. And then it goes, do, 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 do. I'm probably not doing a good job. Na, 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 na.
I wish you guys could see the head motion that's happening right now. Like it's very much like a Night at the Roxbury kind of head
Yeah,
motion
just
right
like
now. And she's
jamming
like,
out to Brandy.
I'm going to have to find it on, is it on Spotify?
Of course it's on Spotify. I'll play it for you later. And you're going to be like, oh.
I didn't know if this was like a salty sailor tune that I couldn't find on Spotify.
It's about a sailor because his life, his lover, his lady is the sea.
She has.
She is.
She is.
But,
She
and
has
Brandy's
been the sea.
she like Brandy. She works at the bar.
I don't know this. I feel so crazy.
People are literally screaming it at you.
Oh no!
And they're probably yelling at me for not doing a good job of singing it.
I gotta find it
Yeah.
somewhere. Okay, we gotta find it.
All right,
like,
I'm
play
so
a second
sorry.
of it or something. Can we do that?
Can we play a second of it?
I'm sure we can play a second.
Okay,
of
let's
it.
play a second.
I don't.
Of it. I just sang half the
I was
song.
gonna
so
say.
I don't even know if they're. I think maybe.
And that's
they're
what I
left.
mean. Like I love like on TikTok
A sea shanty.
that sea shanty shit. That's like dur, 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 like that kind of shit. I'm like, I'm into it. And I love
I know you know this song.
it sounds familiar now.
I don't know.
Hold on, it's sounding a little familiar. Oh yeah, but I didn't know any of the lyrics to that song.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the song.
I thought it was going to be a sea shanty that you were yelling at me.
No, it's just about a sailor. That's all.
It's not.
Just about a sailor who likes this girl who works at a bar, but he can't be with her.
See, I like those old timey
like when we did we put a sea shanty in one of our
exactly like
lighthouse.
We did for those ones I think we did some sea shanty things. But I like those. I like a legend, like a seafaring legend.
Yeah.
I like a seafaring monster. I like a siren.
Lessie. Oh my God, Nessie, I mean. I'm not well, bitch. I'm on the scissor today.
You love a sea serpent, a lake monster, if you will. I like those kind of things. So that's fun to me. I like that theory. But it's not as troubling as the Burke and Hare one would be.
Yeah, I'm nervous about where are we gonna
now so because they were so popular and that people were so kind of obsessed with them for a while and there was such mystery surrounding these, it's pretty surprising that throughout the decades and decades that they were trying to figure out what these were, no one really performed any kind of thorough analysis of the Arthur C. coffins. They were like, I wonder what these are.
Yeah.
Huh. And then they would just throw them off to the side. And it's like, do you guys want to science it a little bit?
Maybe not a lot of science going on
someone
back
put on
then.
Some glasses and just take a closer peek at these.
Well, I bet Ferguson did.
I'm sure he did. But
just maybe didn't write down enough info.
It wasn't until the 90s.
Kevin.
It was the 90s. Yeah, I'm talking about the 1990s.
Shit.
That anyone really gave these their due attention. Huh. So the examination of the remaining Arthur C. coffins was done in the early 1990s by Alan Simpson, who was the former president of the Royal Scottish Society of Arts.
Bitch.
He was joined by Samuel Menifee, a senior associate of the Center for National Security Law at the University of Virginia.
Bitch.
Both of them were visiting fellows at the School of Scottish Studies at the University of Edinburgh at the time.
Bitch.
There you go. I had to wait for that. Now, they all looked pretty identical, but Simpson and Menifee did note that there were some variations within them. So the dimensions did vary a little bit in size, from 3.7 to 4.1 inches long. Anywhere within that thing, they would vary.
I wonder why.
0.7 to 1.2 inches wide, and 0.8 to 1 inch deep.
So that's so little that I feel
it could have just been hey, I made this one, I put it in the hill. I'm doing this one off of memory, and I'm a little off.
Right.
To me, that's the thing. There's a lot of these things where I'm well, I think it's this.
I'm going to ask a question.
Who knows if I'll have the answer, really.
Do you know if they had rulers back then?
When did the rulers were they had ruler instruments long ago.
Okay.
So
that was my question.
But I don't know when. Okay. I don't know when that began. What year an actual
When did the rulers really get popular?
When did the rulers start to rule is what I want to know.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I want to know. What they also found out was that most of the coffins' insides were made of rag fiber cloth, but one was lined with paper.
Huh.
Which was interesting. 2 of the coffins were originally painted pink or red.
Okay.
They generally were 2 kind of shapes. Most had square cut corners, but 3 had rounded corners, which could suggest 2 things to me. They think it suggests that more than one person did it.
Okay.
Which absolutely could be true.
Like Burke and Hare.
Or it could be that, well, I don't think both of them did it either.
Oh, shit.
Or it could be that, like we were just saying, the variations in these things are well, I just put one in the hillside a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this one. I don't remember if I rounded off the edges or not.
Sure.
I think we're not giving people enough credit for being
silly,
somewhat lazy, and inconsistent as humans. I think we're just not giving us that much. I think we're it must be more than one person. It's no, it could just be the same inconsistent fuckery. I'm
super inconsistent, so I get it.
It happens. Now, the dolls contained within the coffins did appear to come from a set of figures with flat feet and arms that would swing. So they thought that those could have been toy soldiers originally.
Oh, I'm going to have that stuck in my head now.
I immediately did. Toy soldiers.
We're getting so sued.
The eyes of each figure were open,
Oh, I don't like that.
which they said made it unlikely that they were designed as corpses.
Yeah.
I don't think I agree. Because almost every corpse I worked on in the morgue had open eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate that for
When people
you.
die, a lot of times their eyes stay open.
Yep, they sure do. And
And
you
if these
can't close
are
them.
designed as corpses, then this person who made them might have seen these people when they died and their eyes were open.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we can't totally be like, I don't think these were corpses, guys. The eyes were open. Like, I don't think that's...
Yeah, we need a little
We can't
more.
completely discount that as a thing. Now, some of the figurines were also missing their arms. They believed that maybe they were removed so they would fit better into the coffins. My opinion, maybe it was representative of injury or dismemberment, but that's just my sick-ass mind. That
You
if-
do have a sick ass
that
mind.
if these are supposed to represent murder victims, perhaps, or just dead people, then maybe they're being representative of what injuries they had.
Perhaps.
I don't know. I'm just saying, my mind is a weird place. But
I bet it is.
it is. It's a strange place. You don't really want to be in there. But when it came to identifying who might have carved the coffins, there was really no clues for an actual identity. But they were able to take a little bit from some of the adornments, like the tin adornments on the coffin lids, because they said that it's the use of applied pieces of tinned iron as decoration which struck them. And it's similar to the type of tin used in contemporary shoe buckles. So
Shoe buckles, you say?
this could mean, thank you, that it could be someone who was a shoemaker or a leather worker. I don't know if everybody remembers this.
I do.
But Burke was a shoemaker.
But
he
you
was
didn't
a
think it
cobbler.
was him, right?
He was a cobbler. But I have something to,
That's
fix
something
that.
to say.
So a shoemaker, they were saying, would have the skills to make these coffins, but they weren't a carpenter. They didn't have carpentry tools, so they wouldn't have made them as perfect and identical as you would think. And that's why maybe they're a little inconsistent. Now, when it came to the figures themselves, they said that they still think that these are supposed to be like toys of some kind or representative of living people. This is what they initially thought, not, effigies for dead people. Because they said that they could see strong lines across some of their brows, which indicated that they had hats at one point.
Oh.
And that there was carefully carved lower bodies formed to indicate tight knee breeches and hose, below which the feet are blackened to indicate ankle boots. I still think these could be dead bodies. I don't see why that changes things.
I don't think so either.
If they were originally toy soldiers that they changed into these little dolls, then they maybe removed a helmet or hat of some sort, and that's what those are from.
Agreed.
But Simpson and Menifee used the figures' appearances to date them back to 1790s at the earliest.
Oh, wow.
Now, the clothing on the figures, which apparently had been sewn and glued into place, very carefully, it represented a style of dress that didn't correlate to period grave clothing. So they said it looked like it was supposed to be representative of everyday wear and not funeral wear.
Like what somebody died in.
Thank you, because they said that they were probably done just to cover the figures decently and not to represent any kind of specific period or occasion. But if they were murder victims, like you said, then they would be dressed in the clothing that they died in, guys. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't be in proper burial clothing.
And if they were Burke and Hare's victims, I would think that they probably all had similar shoes because they all came from a similar place.
Exactly. And if you look at the pictures of these little dudes, when I first read the description, I was like, oh, so they have clothing. That's why. When you look at it, you're like, clothing is a loose term, coverings, I would say, that were glued and sewn on.
Yeah, I keep meaning to look at pictures.
Yeah, it's so the rag cloth lining of the coffins was dated to the period after 1780.
Okay.
But they believed that all the coffins were created probably no earlier than 1800. And they said that the deposit into the hillside, they believed, wasn't done until after 1830. Mm-hmm. And they said, so that kind of makes sense because that would be within 5 years of the discovery.
Yeah.
Which is when that first tier makes sense that it wouldn't put in there. So Naomi Tarrant, who is the curator of European textiles at the National Museum of Scotland, she said that based on relatively good condition of the fabrics, that they were definitely buried in the early 1830s.
Okay.
Yes. And in several of the cases, They were sewn using 3-ply thread, which wouldn't have been manufactured until after 1812. So this does line up.
Okay.
Now, in the conclusion of their report on the analysis of these little coffins, Alan Simpson and Samuel Menefee noted, quote, that the problem with the various theories is their concentration on motivation rather than on the event or events that caused the interments. The former will always be open to argument, but if the burials were event-driven, by, say, the loss of a ship with 17 fatalities during the period in question, the speculation would be at least be built on demonstrable fact. Stated another way, what we seek is an Edinburgh-related event or events involving 17 deaths, which occurred close to 1830 and certainly before 1836.
Go ahead, girl.
One
Go
obvious
ahead.
answer springs to mind. The Westport murders by William Burke and William Hare in 1827 and 1828.
Yep. These are creepy as fuck.
Very creepy. And so I'm going to give you a quick little like
Lesson.
second
Overview.
lesson of Burke and Hare. In case you didn't listen to it, you should go listen to it. But in case you're here and you're like, oh shit, I want to finish this first, and then go listen to that.
Yeah.
So following the death of a boarder at William Hare's lodging house in November of 1827, and this will be quick, don't worry if you've already listened to the episode, Burke and Hare realized, you know what? It's a sign of the times. We can make a ton of money selling corpses to the Edinburgh Medical College. This was a very big thing at the time. They were called resurrection men, these people who did this. And this prompted the two of them to go on a murder spree, because why wait for people to die? Why not just murder them? And they killed at least 16 people and sold their bodies to local surgeon and instructor, Dr. Robert Knox. Now, Burke and Hare, and remember, they killed 16 people, sold that first one. That is 17 altogether.
Sure is.
Burke and Hare were eventually caught when a lodger in William Burke's house discovered the body of an elderly woman that they had killed, and they both confessed to the murders of 16 people, but Hare definitely blamed Burke. It was a whole thing. Definitely listen to it because it's very interesting what happened with them. So they confessed to the murders of 16 people and the unlawful sale of the body of the lodger at the boarding house. And given that they were all marginalized people that were victims, Simpson and Menefee think that the coffins could have served as like a proper burial at Arthur's Seat, because these people wouldn't have gotten a proper burial to begin with.
I think I see where you're going.
He said, considering beliefs such as the alleged mimic burial given to Scottish sailors lost at sea, it would not be unreasonable for some person or persons, in the absence of the 17 dissected bodies, to wish to perpetuate these dead, the majority of whom were murdered in atrocious circumstances, by a form of burial to set their spirits at rest.
That makes sense to me.
Well, it is always possible that other disasters could have resulted in an identical, I don't know why that was hard to say, casualty list. The Westport murders would appear to be a logical motivating force. Now, in 2005, producers from the National Geographic Channel, they convinced the curators at the museum to allow forensic.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl. Or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat, comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
Science Service expert Mike Barber to test the coffins for potential trace DNA. They were hoping to match it to Burke, basically.
Oh, and so they have some of his DNA, I guess?
They have his body. So they have his skeleton.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Now, the tests on the coffins didn't turn up any trace DNA that they could use, which is sad, and neither did the figures.
Ugh.
And the museum wouldn't allow Barber to take the kind of samples that he would usually use for that kind of analysis. So it's like not really even a really good test, really.
Right.
And they would have to take DNA from the skeleton of William Burke, and he is kept under lock and key at Edinburgh University.
Oh,
which
did
is
you say
very
that last time,
interesting.
or did I forget that?
I don't think I mentioned it in that
That's
episode.
cool.
Or maybe I did. I'm not sure. But either way, they weren't going to let him do that. They're not going to let him, denigrate that DNA. Now, despite the DNA tests finding absolutely nothing, quote unquote, Mike Barber is pretty convinced that it was Burke who created the coffins. And it makes sense. So he said, I think it's pretty clear, he told this to the Edinburgh Evening News, the people I've spoken to during filming believe that it was Hare who was the real bad one.
Yeah,
And
I believe
Burke
that too.
was easily led and copped to it when he was shopped by Hare.
Yeah.
What they believe is that basically William Burke had some kind of guilt and was making these
To give them proper
to
burials.
give them a proper burial.
And sorry, was he the shoemaker?
He was the shoemaker.
That's all I could
So
think
it
of
kinda
this
makes
entire
sense.
time.
And while it's possible that they could have been placed there by Burke
Yeah.
or Hare, probably Burke, if we're
Yeah.
really going to talk about it, I think there's a better theory that is still connected to William Burke and
Okay.
William Hare. So William Burke was tried and executed not very long after his arrest for the 16th murder.
So that was my problem.
That's the part that gets me. I was like, when would he have done that?
Especially
But-
like that last one is what you're saying, right?
Exactly. And William Hare, as well as both of their ladies, they were run out of Scotland by an angry mob as soon as they were released from police custody. So it's pretty unlikely that they would have been able to place them there
Right.
without somebody seeing them and killing them. But another similar explanation was offered in 2005 by George Dagliesh, I believe it is, a curator.
cool last name.
I know, right? He's a curator of the Scottish history at the National Museum of Scotland. And he said he thinks the coffins were made by a close associate of Burke and Hare, who, quote, had a strong motive to make amends for their crimes.
The doctor.
The possible explanation put forth by Dagliesh, I'm sorry, seems very plausible, and it is that Dr. Robert Knox,
Called it.
to whom the bodies were sold, he stayed in Edinburgh for many years. We
Yup.
talked about this. After Burke's execution, he presumably felt some kind of guilt for
would
his
hope so.
participation in the whole thing. And before his arrest and execution, actually, William Burke like we said, was a shoemaker. So he would have had acquaintances with other shoemakers who could have done this.
Yup.
But either way, either a shoemaker who knew about what was going on and worked with Burke or Dr. Robert Knox makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, because we don't know really much else about Dr. Knox and like what his hobbies were and things like that.
Exactly. We don't know.
I kind of
I like the
that.
Knox theory.
I do too.
I think it really it's like him making amends for it.
And it makes sense. And it kind of makes me feel better.
Yeah, it would honestly be like, not that it like absolves him,
exactly.
but like it would be at least something.
You're like,
I'm point to.
Because you're like, I'm glad you had some kind of
Guilt.
conscience.
Yeah, like you felt guilt. Now, they do point to one thing that could stray away from this theory, but I don't think it's an issue, to be honest. They said no fewer than 12 of Burke and Hare's victims were female. We know that. But they said the clothed bodies found in the coffins were dressed in male attire. The clothings used to dress the figures definitely were like crude and not like fully clothed. And in my opinion, much more crude than they're giving them credit for.
Yeah.
But they said that it would have been pretty easy for them to put a dress on it rather than pants and a shirt. But if you look at it, they kind of just put onesies on all of them. They really just covered up their limbs with cloth.
Yeah, I agree.
And to be honest, a lot of these victims were brought to Knox nude.
Naked.
So it's like
he wanted
this
to
feels
clothe
like
them.
it was just kind of like they clothed these dolls in very, very simplistic shrouds.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like that's what it looks like to me. If you look them up, that's what it looks like to me.
That's what
that they are neither. I don't believe they are gendered clothing. I believe they're very like just down the middle. Could be either.
I agree with you. And it's also really hard to tell on most of them.
It's just like fabric.
A lot of them have like molded away.
Exactly. So you don't know.
Oh, these things freak me out.
They're really creepy.
The one that specifically terrifies me is wrapped up in like all white, and the figure's eyes are still so prominent.
I know, it's so creepy. Yeah. Now, and they also pointed out that 17 bodies were sold by Burke and Hare, but they only confessed to killing 16. But I don't think that's an issue
because that other body.
Yeah, and it's to me. That makes sense because you have the 2 rows of 8, which would be who they killed, and then you have that one standing alone, which to me makes
very
sense.
Interesting, yeah.
Like that's the lodger. That's the beginning, but they put it as the end.
I think it's definitely related to Burke and Hare. I don't know who I believe did it, but I definitely think it's related.
Right? It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, the scientific analysis of the Arthur C. coffins was definitely able to reveal like a pretty good deal about the construction of them, the time period where they were made. And it gave a little bit of insight into the type of person who likely would have been able to make them, but it didn't really explain their original purpose.
Yeah.
That's what everybody was trying to figure out. And it kind of only like deepened the mystery. And when you connect it to Burke and Hare, it almost makes it more mysterious because it's like, what was the purpose of these? Was it to give them a proper burial? Like, I need to know what or was this somebody you remember? If you go back to the episode, they involved a few people in their scheme.
Yep.
And it's like, were these people who felt guilt? Were these people who were involved in it and decided to do this as some like weird like count of the victims? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it could mean a lot of different things.
It definitely could.
But
the other thing that I can think of is that the guy who was involved in that one murder with them, and that maybe that one coffin could represent that one murder.
That's true. It definitely could.
But I lean more toward the 16
that they did, that they murdered, and then the one that they sold. That was natural.
Yep.
But despite their inability to actually solve the mystery, like, concretely yet.
Right.
The Arthur C. coffins are, like, still so popular.
They're interesting.
And by late 2000, the Scottish tourism industry began to, like, really embrace Scotland's dark history and dark tourism. And they would like cater to people who were interested in the Burke and Hare case. Mary Queen of Scots, the Hellfire Club, like all that stuff. I need
Mary
to go
King's
there.
Close.
Mary King's Close. And this was really just like tourism. But in 2000, actually, a popular Scottish crime novelist, Ian Rankin, he decided to incorporate the coffins into his novel.
Oh, shit.
Which I think is cool.
That is cool.
It's called The Falls. And he was introduced to them at the Royal Museum in Edinburgh. And he said, quote, "This curator pulled me aside and said, 'Here, you like this kind of stuff.' And he showed me the coffins. I was just knocked out by them, by the idea that these small objects could generate so much mystery for so long."
Yeah.
I love that he put them in a novel. I think that's cool.
Wicked cool.
And in 2018, the coffins actually came back into like front page news. This time, there was a claim that the mystery had been solved. So after he'd spent months studying the case, a Scottish-American writer and amateur historian, Jeff Nisbet, claimed that the coffins were definitely a memorial to this event known as Radical War of 1820. This wasn't really a war, it was more like an uprising.
Okay.
But it refers to a period of civil disobedience in 1820, which was motivated basically by bad working conditions for laborers. And they were basically commencing an uprising to call for improved working conditions, more rights, among several other things.
Sure.
And the uprisings came to an end pretty quickly, not long after they started. And it was when 3 leaders of the movement were executed for their activities, and many others were sent to a penal colony in Australia. I don't know why I said October. But the following year, a group of unemployed weavers were put to work by the Crown building a path around Arthur's Seat, and it was going to be known as Radical Road.
I want to live there.
And a Radical Road! And according to Nisbet, the coffins, he thinks, were placed in the small cave in this place where these weavers were doing labor, building the path around Arthur's Seat. They were put in this small cave as a coded memento to the ideals behind the labor struggles in Edinburgh.
Okay.
In an interview with the Herald, he said, by the time the coffins were discovered, the rebellion had been largely forgotten, save perhaps by those whose loved ones had been either lost by the hangman's noose or a ship bound for Australia. And so it's my theory that the artifact's raison d'etre was to honor the radicals, and that they were later resurrected in an attempt to keep the flame of rebellion lit in a land too quick to forget an attempt that ultimately failed. As evidence for this theory, he says, quote, "All appear to be male and have their eyes open, represent men not dead yet." Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
Another clue can be found in their clothes, made from a type of cloth the weavers would have been familiar with.
Okay.
Interesting. His theory suggests that he's definitely familiar with that time period. This is a good theory.
Yeah.
The fact that he's able to like say that the cloth is pretty representative of what these weavers that were there at the time building this path would have been able to work with. All of that makes sense. The fact that they're, technically they think that they're a bunch of male dolls, but I think that's really like a loose confirmation there.
I agree with that.
And that their eyes are open. Like, sure, you can definitely put it in there and make it fit. It's a decent one. But I think experts are pretty unconvinced by this. Like the principal curator of the National Museum of Scotland's Scottish History, David Forsyth, told the Herald, "I wouldn't scoff at this theory, and it's interesting to hear another idea about where the coffins come from. But Mr. Nisbet's idea is outside the established canon that surrounds the coffins, and I think that the connection to the victims of Burke and Hare remains the most likely explanation."
I agree.
So even the principal curator of the National Museum of Scotland's Scottish History thinks that there is a connection to Burke and Hare.
Then I'd put my money on it.
And to me, Nisbet's theory, I think, is a great one.
Yeah.
I think it's like when you put it all together, you're like, all right.
Yeah, it's a strong theory for sure.
And if it actually ended up being the origin story, I'd be like, you know what, that makes sense. I believe that.
Still a cool origin story.
But I think it's Burke and Hare related. I think that it's the 17.
Well, that's
he
the
didn't
thing.
explain the 17.
I was waiting for that part of
Me
the
too when I was reading
explanation.
it.
So
You got the 3, the leaders who were killed.
Uh-huh.
You know,
I'm sure there was more than 17 people involved.
That's the thing. So I'm like, what's the 17? And why would they be placed at different times, too?
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know.
And why is one alone?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. So nearly 2 centuries after they were found in that mystical hillside in Holyrood Park, the Arthur's, damn it, I almost did it again, the Athos seat coffins remain much a mystery to this day, as they were that day that they were pulled out, when those kids were either rabbit hunting or free climbing a cliff. Who knows what they were doing. But that analysis that was done in the 90s was really the only thing that gave us any insight about when and by whom they were created.
They should try to do something now that like technology has advanced even more.
I want to keep looking into this. I feel like we can figure this out. And the big theory for their creation is definitely the connection to the Burke and Hare. The 17 just sticks with me. Too strong. I think it sticks to everybody else. It's a plausible theory. But either way, no matter what they were totems that were tucked away in a secret location carved out of an ancient volcano.
That alone is all you really need to tell people.
And it's like,
put a period right at the end of that sentence.
Was it wise to remove them?
Ready? Say it with me.
No. I don't think it was.
Take things from ancient places. One more time. We don't take things from ancient places.
Maybe just,
don't touch that.
Peek in. You can peek in.
Take a look, see.
You know what you do? You got one of those little dental mirrors where it's like the big long mirror that they can look in the back of your mouth with.
Yeah, gross.
Stick it in there and go, ooh. And maybe take a little picture if you want to.
Maybe. Even that's kind of going far.
But then get out of there.
Scoot on out.
Get out of there and go, I wonder what those are.
Just say, whoa, I saw those.
And that's the thing.
Crazy.
Like, that would be my ideal situation with this, because I think, I don't know what these were, and I don't know if it was a good idea to move them.
Who even knows if man placed them there in the first place?
There you go. Maybe it was Beast.
Maybe it was Fae.
Maybe it was Fae.
Bitch.
Maybe these are fairy coffins.
I don't know.
Maybe we don't know. Did we fuck around and find out? Maybe.
We didn't find anything out. That was the problem.
But maybe we fucked around and found out. We didn't find out the things we wanted to find out.
But we found out.
But we found out.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. And but now that we have removed them and it's been, a little bit.
Maybe we should put them back.
Maybe we should. I don't know. I don't think that's how it works though. I don't think it's givesies backsies. I think
it's
I think fair we don't play that way.
Yeah, they probably don't. But if it's not them, maybe
it's been centuries, my guy. No givesies backsies anymore.
Maybe it's like Leprechaun and givesies backsies, my lad.
My lad.
But
I think now that we have them out of the ancient volcano on a mystical Arthur seat,
we've already fucked around.
We've done it. We fucked around. So now let's find out. I'd like to find out what these are. I think we should keep looking into them. I'd like more to come out, because a lot of people are like, we will never know, and it's like that. I don't think so.
They've said that about a million gajillion things. They thought we'd never figure out Somerton Man. Here we are.
Exactly. I think we'll know
so many things.
Yeah.
Every problem has an answer.
There you go. That's part of
Snoop Dogg's affirmations.
Snoop Dogg's affirmations for kids.
Yeah.
They're great. You should do them if you want affirmations for kids.
There you go.
They're really fun. My kids love them.
Yeah, we listened to that song so many times while you were gone.
Every problem has an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
There you go. My family loves me. I love that.
My feelings matter.
I love it. But yeah, so that's the story of the Arthur C. Coffins. They're wily and
like a coyote.
I think we're going to figure out what they are, and I think it's going to be either Burke and Hare related or Fae related.
I agree.
That's just me.
That's where I'm at too. So thanks for listening.
Yeah. We hope you
keep it weird. Wow, that was bad.
Not so weird that you forget how to end your show.
Yeah, I think that's been the not so weird a lot lately. But definitely not so weird that you take anything from an ancient place. Put it back.
Yeah, put it back.
Keep it so weird that you listen to your mamas over here and you put it back.
Look with your eyes, not with your hands.
Yes.
Okay, friends?
Yes.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
We don't just alert, we stop crime before it starts. Simply Safe, plans starting around $1 a day. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/SXM or with promo code SXM.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.